Hey space enthusiasts and disaster movie fans. Today we're diving into a scenario that's out of this world. Literally. What if the International Space Station, our orbiting science lab and astronaut hangout, decided to come crashing down to Earth? Buckle up, because this cosmic catastrophe is going to be one wild ride. First, let's talk about our soon-to-be falling star, the ISS. This space behemoth has been circling our planet since 1998. It's about the size of a football field and weighs around 420 metric tons. That's like 45 school buses floating in space. Now, before you start panicking and building an ISS-proof bunker, let's get one thing straight. The chances of the ISS randomly deciding to plummet to Earth are slimmer than an astronaut's chances of finding a decent pizza in space. NASA and its international partners keep a watchful eye on this cosmic colossus. They regularly boost its orbit to keep it safely cruising at about 250 miles above Earth. But for the sake of our what-if scenario, let's imagine Mission Control accidentally hit the big red oops button. Suddenly, the ISS starts its unplanned descent. As it begins to fall, the first thing you'd notice is absolutely nothing. That's right, folks. No dramatic music, no Bruce Willis in a spacesuit. The ISS is so high up that it would take a while before things get exciting. As it descends, the station would start to heat up faster than a hot pocket in a microwave. The Earth's atmosphere, usually our friend in protecting us from space debris, becomes the ISS's worst enemy. It would start to break apart, creating a dazzling but terrifying light show. Imagine the world's most expensive fireworks display, courtesy of your tax dollars. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most of the ISS would actually burn up in the atmosphere. It's like nature's own recycling program, but with more fireballs. However, some larger, sturdier pieces might survive the fiery descent. These space souvenirs could weigh up to 30 tons in total. That's like dropping 15 cars from the sky. Talk about heavy traffic. So where would these cosmic chunks land? Well, that's the million-dollar question. Or should I say the $100 billion question, considering that's roughly what the ISS cost to build. The good news is about 70% of Earth's surface is water. So there's a good chance our space station would take a refreshing ocean dip. But what if it aimed for land? Well, let's just say it would make for some very unusual lawn ornaments. Imagine waking up to find a piece of solar panel in your backyard. That's one way to upgrade your home to solar power. Now, before you start planning your ISS scavenger hunt, remember that these falling pieces would be incredibly hot and potentially dangerous. It's not exactly a situation where finders keepers applies. Unless you want a lawsuit hotter than re-entry temperatures, it's best to leave any space debris to the professionals. Speaking of professionals, what would the world's space agencies be doing during all this chaos? Well, first, they'd be tracking the ISS's descent with more focus than a cat watching a laser pointer. They'd be able to predict, with some accuracy, where the larger pieces might land. This information would be crucial for evacuation plans and safety measures. It would be like a reverse space launch, with everyone trying to get away from the landing site. Meanwhile, social media would explode faster than the ISS hitting the atmosphere. Hashtags like ISPocalypse and Space Station Splashdown would be trending worldwide. Conspiracy theorists would have a field day. Was it aliens? A secret government plot? Or did someone just forget to pay the space parking meter? News channels would have a blast with their doomsday graphics and dramatic countdowns. It would be the Super Bowl of space events minus the overpriced commercials. But amidst all the chaos and excitement, there's a serious side to consider. The loss of the ISS would be a huge blow to scientific research and international cooperation. This orbiting laboratory has been home to groundbreaking experiments and has hosted astronauts from 19 different countries. It's like a United Nations in space, but with better views and more freeze-dried ice cream. The ISS has been crucial in our understanding of long-term space habitation, which is essential for future missions to Mars and beyond. Losing it would be like losing a stepping stone on our path to becoming a multiplanetary species. Plus, think of all the cool space videos we'd miss out on. No more watching astronauts play with water blobs or do zero-gravity somersaults. Our social media feeds would be significantly less otherworldly. But fear not, space fans. Even if the ISS did take an unexpected dive, it wouldn't be the end of human space exploration. If there's one thing humans are good at, it's bouncing back from setbacks. We'd probably have plans for ISS 2.0 faster than you can say, Houston, we have a problem. In fact, there are already discussions about the future of low Earth orbit after the ISS's planned retirement. Companies like Axiom Space are working on commercial space stations. So even if our current space home took a tumble, we'd soon have new cosmic cribs to crash in. Hopefully not literally this time. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the astronaut in the space station. What about the crew on board during this celestial plunge? Well, they'd certainly be in for the ride of their lives, but not in a good way. Fortunately, the ISS always has a Soyuz capsule docked as an emergency escape pod. It's like an intergalactic lifeboat, ready to detach and bring the crew safely back to Earth. They'd need to act faster than a cat in a cucumber field, but they'd have a good chance of making it back in one piece. Although, they might need a change of space underpants after that adventure. So, what's the takeaway from our hypothetical space station swan dive? First, it's a reminder of the incredible engineering and international cooperation that keeps the ISS safely orbiting our planet. Second, it shows how vulnerable our space assets can be and why continued investment in space technology is crucial. And finally, it proves that even in the face of a massive, falling space station, humans can find a way to survive and even crack a few jokes. In conclusion, while the idea of the ISS falling to Earth is fascinating to ponder, it's about as likely as finding a quiet corner in a black hole. Our space station is well maintained, closely monitored, and nowhere near ready to retire to a Florida beach or beach-sized crater. So the next time you look up at the night sky and see a bright dot moving steadily across the stars, rest easy. That's just the ISS, continuing its cosmic journey, safely out of reach of your backyard. Unless, of course, you have a really, really tall fence. Stay curious, stay looking up, and remember, in space, no one can hear you scream, but they can definitely see you tweet about it. This is Celestial Secrets signing off from Earth, where we hope all our space stations stay far, far away.